Hey everyone, this is Prof Sales coming at you with another video, and today's topic is about listing specifically on eBay. And I thought I would spend some time with you explaining why I list every day, no matter what. I list something every day on eBay, and what's the rationale for that, and why I think you should do it too. So let's get into it. The first reason is you need to hone your skills. And by this I mean your listing skills. Listing is a skill set in terms of writing a good title, taking good pictures, making sure you're putting in item specifics, having done your research to see how much your item is going to sell for, what type of shipping you should have. All these things are skills that you need to develop. You need to learn how to do these things, and the better you become at these, the more you're going to sell, the faster you're going to sell, the better you're going to sell your items for. You're going to get more money for them. So honing your skills is important. You can't hone your skills if you're not actually using them and practicing. So listing every day, even if it's just one item, will give you the opportunity to hone your skills. The second reason is because you need to keep up with your listings. What I mean by that is you have lots of listings out there, but maybe some of them have expired. Maybe some of them are no longer at the right price point. Maybe you need to update your pictures. Maybe you need to update your titles, your keywords, all these sorts of things. You can't do that if you're not actively engaged with your listings. By going in and listing every day, you're going to be able to stay on top of the listings you already have up and make changes when need be, or just keep the status quo if your listings are in good shape. This forces you to go in and make sure that your listings are where you need them to be simply by having to go in and list every day. That's another good reason why you need to do it. This is probably the most important reason, and lots of resellers will argue about whether or not this works. High in the search. What this means is the idea that by listing something every day, eBay is indexing your listings more often, and therefore they're showing up in searches. They're showing up with more frequency. They're showing up sooner in the searches when people search for the items that you have listed. I'm not sure anyone really knows the answer to that question of whether or not listing every day 100% helps that your items appear higher in the search. And quite honestly, I haven't had enough listings up over a long enough period of time and tracked it closely enough to know whether or not it's statistically meaningful or not. However, I will say that anecdotally, every time it seems like I've listed something or had a day where I've listed, I've sold something that day almost without fail. There have been many other days where maybe I did not list anything and I either sold virtually nothing or nothing. So that's not to say that you can't sell without listing every day and your items won't sell. That's not the case at all. But there seems to be at least some evidence suggesting that by frequent listing, your items are getting pushed up in the search rankings and therefore more likely to be seen by buyers, which is obviously a good thing. So why not go ahead and err on the side of caution here and say, well, I think it's going to help me and I'm going to do it, and if it doesn't help me, I'm still getting more items up, and at the very least, I'm not hurting myself. And I could be really helping myself by using this list every day strategy to push myself up in the search rankings. It just makes sense. So I think that's another great reason to be listing every day. Excuse me. Finally, some strategies. What are you going to do? How are you going to list every day? It sounds great in theory, but the reality is it's a little more difficult than one might think. So I came up with a couple ideas that I do that might help you. First off, if you're selling on eBay and you're doing buy it nows, you can set them up to expire every 30 days. I like to do 30-day buy it nows, and the reason is this. After I've listed several items on a given day, let's say I list 10 items in a day, and I set them all to expire in 30 days. 30 days from that date, I'm going to get a message that's going to say, hey, you've now got a bunch of unsold ended listings. I can go in and relist those, and that also helps me potentially in the search rankings, but it also helps me kind of keep items getting listed every day. Once you do this every day for a month, the following month, you're going to have items coming off every day that need to be relisted. So it's simple to do this. It's a click of a button. It's selecting all the items that did not sell and just hitting relist and clicking a few more buttons and you're done. Assuming you've got everything set on them in terms of the right keywords, the right pictures, the right titles, all those things. It's not a very lengthy process. It takes not even a minute and you can relist hundreds of items. So that's one way to do it. Another strategy I think here too is that you can use is you can create drafts. Let's say for instance that you know you're going to be out of town and you're not going to be able to list anything on eBay for a couple days. Maybe you're gone for the weekend. You could create drafts beforehand, and let's say you create 10 drafts and you're going to be gone Saturday, Sunday. So on Saturday when you're away from home, even if you've got internet connection, you can go in, select those drafts, list them. On Sunday, you can list the next 5. So that way, you still listed something every single day. You still get all the advantages of all the factors that we were talking about earlier, that you can still help yourself in the search rankings and kind of keep this listing every day idea going. So creating drafts is another way that you can make sure that you're listing every day. It also helps you too if maybe you're just run out of time. Maybe you need to spend a whole day sourcing. You need to just go here, go there. You're going to be in the car. There's just not going to be any time for you to do any listings. Again, drafts are your best bet here. If I know that I'm going to be sourcing a given day, I will frequently take a listing day, list a bunch of items, but also keep a few ready to go and keep them as drafts. And then the next day I can just, hit to post them, and I'm still meeting my goal of listing something every day. So I hope that all these strategies are helpful to you. I hope you can see the importance of frequent listing on eBay. I promise you it will help your results if you do this. I cannot tell you how many times I've had items that have ended. I've relisted them. They've literally sold that same day. So they went 30 days without listing or without selling. I relist them. A couple hours later, they sell. Think if I had just let them die and not relisted them for a while. Who knows if that buyer would have seen them or not. The longer you keep your items up and listed, the more chance you give buyers to see them. So by using these strategies, by bringing in new listings every day if you can, also doing the relist of items that have expired every day if you can, you're giving yourself the best shot to stay high in the search rankings, making sure your buyers see your items, and really impacting your sales in a positive way. So I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, please leave me a comment or a like down below. I'd like to hear from you, and consider subscribing if you'd like to see more of these videos in the future, as they will surely be coming your way. So until next time, this is Prof Sales saying good sales to you.